Hey everyone, I want to tell you about Cozy Earth. It's the world's softest sheets. They keep you cool, dry, and comfy all night long. They're moisture wicking, breathable, and they even get softer with every wash. They have PJ sets. Who can't get behind PJ sets? Valentine's is coming up. Get your wife a pajama set. It's Oprah approved. They have free shipping on orders over $50 and a 100-night sleep trial on those bedding sets and a 10-year warranty. And right now, our listeners get to save 40% off using our code INFOGO at CozyEarth.com. Find the link in the show notes. Luxury, comfort, and cool sleep await you at CozyEarth.com. Welcome to the podcast. I'm William,
And I'm Kat.
and this is going to be a dash of info.
Little things you want to know.
So, Kat, I have a question for you. Is our current calendar wrong?
I don't know. But, let's dive into it. The calendar's roots trace back thousands of years and to ancient civilizations such as Egyptians and Babylonians who developed early systems to track time and the changing seasons.
This was driven primarily by agricultural needs, because these societies needed a reliable way to predict seasonal shifts, so they would know when to plant their crops and when harvest times would be, when harvest would be coming up for their crops, right?
hmm Yes. The Egyptians created one of the first known solar calendars based on the annual rising of the star Sirius and the flooding of the Nile River.
Serious, you say?
Sirius, yes.
Like Siri? I'm just playing. Anyway,
Kind of.
so their calendar, well, it featured 12 months or of 30 days each, with an additional 5 days added at the end of the year to approximate the solar cycle.
Meanwhile, the Babylonians developed a sophisticated lunisolar calendar, combining both the cycles of the moon and the sun. So their months were based on the lunar phases, but they recognized that a purely lunar calendar would drift relative to the solar year.
So to correct this, they occasionally inserted an extra month, a process known as intercalculation. This was to realign their calendar with the seasons. And this was building upon these early inventions. Well, the Roman leader, Julius Caesar, yeah, that's Caesar, he introduced the Julian calendar in 45 BCE in consultation with Alexandrian astronomers.
The Julian calendar abandoned the lunar system in favor of a purely solar one, standardizing the year to 365 days and adding a leap day every 4 years to account for the extra fraction of a day in the Earth's orbit.
However, the Julian calendar slightly overestimated the length of the solar year, causing it to drift gradually over the centuries. To correct this drift, Pope Gregory the 13th instituted a reform in 1582, leading to the creation of the Gregorian calendar.
And this new system adjusted the leap year rules. Century years would not leap years unless divisible by 400 to more precisely align with the solar year. The Gregorian calendar, with its improved accuracy, became the basis for the civil calendar used by much of the world today. So, preserving the ancient goal of synchronizing human activity with the rhythms of the earth and sky.
So, Kat, what's wrong with all these calendars?
Well, that's a good question. Here's the key idea. While ancient calendars like the Egyptian solar calendar and the Babylonian lunar solar calendar, the Julian calendar and even the Gregorian calendar were groundbreaking. Each had flaws because matching the complex motions of the earth, moon, and sun isn't easy.
But here's really a quick breakdown of that. Um, the Egyptian solar calendar had 365 days, but it really didn't account for the extra 0.2422 days, which is about an extra 6 hours. It actually takes for the Earth to orbit the sun. And over time, Their calendar slowly drifted out of sync with the seasons by about 1 day every 4 years. Remember that.
One day every 4 years.
1 day every 4 years. So you think about over time, think about how that adds up.
The Babylonian calendar tried to balance the lunar months with the solar year, since 12 lunar months only equal about 354 days, not 365. They had to add an extra month occasionally. And the system worked, but it was complicated and sometimes inconsistent depending on the authority deciding when to insert the extra month.
I say before we really get into, the Julian calendar and how it improved, so we take a small break. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
William, I know how you love matcha tea with coconut milk.
Yeah, it's clean energy without a crash.
Then you'll love Mantra Matcha. They offer super premium ceremonial matcha and 6 superfood infused flavors made from the finest, youngest tea leaves for a naturally sweet, ultra smooth taste.
With each flavor, it's infused with powerful superfoods like cacao, ginger, and goji berries. And they also have those classic favorites like banana cacao, strawberry lemon, cinnamon goji berry, plus superfood berry, ginger beet, and rosehip dragon fruit. It's organic, non GMO, gluten free with 0 grams of sugar. You can enjoy it like me, or maybe hot or in a smoothie like Cat. Every purchase helps provide meals to kids through No Kid Hungry.
It's at mantramatcha.com. Get 15% off using our code INFOGO at checkout. Both links are in the show notes.
Hey, everybody, we want to tell you about strong coffee. Every morning it starts with a choice. You can settle for just coffee, or you can rise up with strong coffee. And it's the world's strongest cup of joe. Strong isn't just a drink, it's a movement. It stands for striving to reach our natural greatness.
It's born from one simple need: to be better. They rebuilt coffee from the ground up, infusing organic coffee with collagen, protein, nootropics, and functional ingredients that fuel your body and sharpen your mind. No crash, no compromises, just clean energy, focus, and flavor that fires you up.
Yeah, so whether you're chasing kids, chasing goals, or chasing greatness, don't just do it with coffee, do it with strong coffee. And our listeners can save 20% off just by using our code INFOGO at checkout. Hey, if you're looking for your favorite band or sports team or TV show, check out Old Glory. They've been in operation since 1969 and they have over 300,000 items. They have from the Beatles all the way to Metallica, NFL, NBA. It really doesn't matter what you're looking for. They have tees, hoodies, hats, gifts, everything a true fan could ever want. And it's family owned and operated. They have fast shipping, free standard delivery on every order. And you know what? Our listeners get a 15% off at checkout using our code INFOGO. You can find the link in the show notes. So now that we're back, the Julian calendar, it improved accuracy with a leap year every 4 years. But it assumed a year was actually 365.25 days, which is about 11 minutes too long. And that tiny error added up over centuries. So by the 1500s, important dates like the spring equinox, well, it was about 10 days off from when they really were supposed to happen.
The Gregorian calendar fixed a lot by adjusting leap years, skipping 3 leap years every 400 years. However, it's not perfect. The Gregorian year is 365.2425 days, while the true solar year is about 365.2422 days, which means the Gregorian calendar still drifts by about 1 day every 3,000 years.
So 1 day every 3,000 years. But, the Gregorian calendar is also Christian based. So cultures with other religious or cultural systems sometimes have needed their own calendars, like the Islamic calendar or the Hebrew calendar. The Gregorian calendar was introduced by Pope Gregory the 13th in 1582 to improve upon the Julian calendar. While effective for aligning with the solar year, it doesn't necessarily fit all cultural or religious traditions, and this leads to various civilizations to develop, well, their own calendars.
The Islamic calendar is based on the lunar cycle. So their calendar consists of 12 months totaling 354 or 355 days, making it roughly 11 days shorter than the Gregorian year. Since it does not use leap years to realign with the solar year, Islamic holidays and observances shift across seasons over time.
And then you have the Hebrew calendar, and this is a lunar solar system. And the Hebrew calendar incorporates both lunar and solar elements. The months of the Hebrew calendar follow the lunar cycles, but leap months are added periodically to keep major Jewish holidays in their intended seasons.
The Chinese calendar is also a lunar solar calendar, which aligns its months with the lunar phases while incorporating leap months to match the lunar cycle. It determines traditional festivals like Chinese New Year and plays a role in astrology and cultural traditions.
Didn't we do an episode on Chinese New Year?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have the Hindu calendar, and its timekeeping varies by region, but many Hindu calendars use a lunar solar system. Certain Hindu calendars track lunar mansions and incorporate leap months to align religious festivals with its seasonal cycles. You know, we done talked a lot about different calendars. It seems like none of them are perfect.
No, it is all very confusing.
It is extremely confusing. I would agree.
Ugh, Jeez. So, despite different cultural calendars, the Gregorian calendar became the global standard for commerce, diplomacy, and international communication. While many nations officially use it, traditional calendars remain significant for religious, agricultural, and cultural observances.
But I have a question. Is there a calendar that could fix all these outlined issues that we talked about here?
Well, yes, there are several. Yeah, the 13th month calendar is a different way of organizing the year by dividing it into exactly 13 months, each with 28 days, which is exactly 4 weeks per month for a total of 364 days. Then, to complete the solar year, which is about 365.24 days, one extra day, which is sometimes called a year day or leap day, is added as a holiday outside of the week and month structure.
I think one of the most famous versions is the International Fixed Calendar. And this was proposed by Moses B. Cotsworth in the early 1900s. In his version, each month had exactly 28 days. Every month began on a Sunday and ended on a Saturday. The 13th month was called Sol, and it was placed between June and July. Year day and or leap day every 4 years. Well, it stood outside the week, so the calendar stayed perfectly regular. But, Kat, what are some of the advantages people see in a 13th month calendar?
Every date falls on the same weekday. The first is always on a Sunday. It's very regular and easy to plan around. Business accounting and record keeping would be simpler because every month is identical. But, there's still problems with it.
Yeah, it completely disrupts religious calendars like the 7 day Sabbath cycle because of the extra day. It would require massive worldwide change, redoing holidays, historical dates, contracts, and the list just goes on and on. And, many people are still attached to that 12-month tradition, which connects to lunar cycles and old agriculture. You know, I'm kind of in favor of the 13-month calendar.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
But there's also another version of that, right? Yeah.
So the PAX calendar proposed by James Colligan in 1930 divides the year into 13 months of 28 days each, totaling 364 days with an extra year day outside of the months and weeks.
Yeah, a second extra day is added for leap years. The 13th month, called Columbus, is placed between November and December, and it was designed for simplicity and global unity. But it really failed to catch on because, people would have to change from that traditional 12-month system, and this would really disrupt religion, business, and legal practices.
The Holocene calendar doesn't mess with months, weeks, or leap years at all. January is still January. A year is still a year. The only change is the starting point. Instead of the beginning of the calendar around the birth of Jesus, the Holocene calendar starts near the beginning of large scale human civilization, roughly 10,000 years ago, when agriculture and permanent settlements first appeared.
Yeah, so to do this, so the year 2025 would become 12,025, and what we call 10,000 BCE, the rise of farming, lands nearly around year one. Well, this small adjustment, well, it fixes a big problem with how we talk about the past.
Now, why use it? It completely removes BCE, CE, and BC, AD, which split history in two. Time flows in one direction with no backward counting, and every human event fits onto one continuous timeline. And that's especially useful for historians, archaeologists, scientists, and educators who deal with deep time.
Yeah, so the Egyptian pyramids, which currently were built around 2500 BCE, it just would become year 7500. Ancient, medieval, and modern history all set on the same scale. No middle gymnastics required. And I think that would be huge, especially when you're in school and you're having to go back and you're like -10 to 1 to whatever. You could just remove all of that stuff.
Right. In the Holocene calendar, history doesn't flip directions or use negative numbers. It just treats human civilization as one long, unbroken story, starting with our earliest achievements and continuing straight into the present day.
Yeah. But I really kind of like the Holocene calendar. I think it would fix everything. I
Mm,
think I,
absolutely.
I think the 13-month calendar with 28 days would be great, but
Mm-hmm.
is it going to happen? Probably not.
I mean, no, not in our lifetime anyway.
Well, and we're going to have to figure it out because every 3,000 years you have to add a old day to the calendar. Where's that going to come from? I guess February somewhere down the line is going to have 31 days.
Oh, I don't know. I just don't see why you don't put it in between D- December and January. I don't know. For me, like December is the end. Like we also do the whole New Year thing. And so I don't know. I feel like you should put it after December.
So December in Roman times would have meant the 10th month, but
Oh,
it's the 12th month.
then I don't like the way we've been writing the list of the months this whole time.
So our original question, is our current calendar wrong? Absolutely. It's wrong.
There's so many things wrong.
Yeah, I really like this Holocene calendar, bringing the Earth, like it would be so easy. You remember in school when you were like, yeah, this happened in -12, and then year one, like year one would be year one, and then you could
Right.
just move forward from there, and you wouldn't have to worry about, well, was this BCE or CE or AD or what are we in right now? I have no clue.
Mm.
For me, we're in year 12,026.
Fair enough.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm so confused. There's so many calendars
Well,
and so many better options. Like if you could have just a day outside of the normal thing, like everybody just, I don't know, has a picnic or something.
our current calendar just doesn't keep up with it's just not correct. It's not changing with the times.
No. Or the
Yeah.
seasons.
No, it's not. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got, Kat.
Me too. So if you would like to support this podcast,
Yeah, you can do so by clicking the Patreon links. You can find that in the show notes.
William and I want to thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you. Whether you've been with us from day one or just tuned in.
Join the Facebook group at Info on the Go
Over there, you can share with us your show ideas.
or ask us a question.
But whatever you do, make sure you hit that follow button wherever you get your podcast.
Or you can send us a text using the link in the show notes.
And leaving that review does help others find us. You can also email us at
infoonthegopodcast@gmail.com.
and you can find that link in the show notes. Till next time.
Stay curious.